I felt like I was being possessed. The following story was written by a lady who would like to remain anonymous. She wants people to understand that anyone can fall victim to a scammer, because she did. My story starts off, I guess, like everybody else's. I was looking for love online, and I decided to join Facebook dating. I'd never really been on the dating scene, let alone a dating scene online. I'm divorced, and I've been divorced now for about 9 years. I figured it was time maybe to put myself out there and try to find someone new. Although I was a little scared to do so, I went online to Facebook dating. Now, I'd used Facebook to keep in touch with friends and family and coworkers, but I'd never used their dating feature. I created a little profile, and soon enough I was getting contacts from a lot of people. I met a man named Michael. He said he was 53. He was a marine engineer working in the high seas of Scotland. I found this exciting as I've never met anybody that actually works on the seas, let alone someone that's working on the high seas doing engineering. He told me he was a widow. His wife had died from liver cancer, and he had a 13-year-old daughter named Maya. He said she was staying with a nanny while he was at sea. He said he was on a contract and he'd be back in about 8 weeks or so. Now, I thought it was interesting that he could talk while he was at sea, although I've known people that have gone on cruises before and they have Wi-Fi. I guess technology has come a long way, and I didn't question it. We continued talking a little bit, and then he asked me if I had WhatsApp. I told him I did, as I did use it to keep in touch with relatives who were overseas working and friends and family that were far away. After all, it was free calling. I added him to WhatsApp, and his WhatsApp photo was of a child. He said that was his daughter. We started talking and texting. We did a few voice chats, and he sounded like he had a heavy accent. When I questioned him about it, he said that his mother was from Lithuania, his father from Germany, and he had gone to boarding school over in Europe, but wouldn't give a specific country, which I thought to be strange. He just said over in the Europe. I dismissed his accent and just thought it was kind of sexy and different. Maybe a little bit exotic to me, because most of the men I've ever met are just plain old Americans. We would talk on and off all hours of the day and night. Now, I did work, but I had flexibility in my schedule and I worked rotating shifts, so it wasn't unusual for us to have phone calls at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He said that was fine because he finished his work and he would be able to talk with me late in the night. I never questioned that either, which I should have. When I tried to video call him several times on WhatsApp, he said due to the poor connection and using a satellite phone on the rig, he couldn't video chat. He said he tried several times and it was very hard to get a hold of anybody via video chat. Well, I kept persisting about it because I just wanted to see him. I really started to like this guy. Finally, he did answer his video call, but the video was very choppy and it looked like a chopped up video of someone in the ocean. He said he was trying to show me his workstation on the oil rig and where he was engineering. But all I could see was choppy video of the ocean, and I just figured, well, maybe the internet is pretty bad there. I told him it's okay and we could just go back to voice or texting. And most of the time we texted. He would send me love poems and he asked for my address. And I asked him why. He said that he wanted to send me a special surprise. Now, at the time it didn't click with me. How could someone send me something if they're out on the ocean? I asked him what he wanted to send. He said he wanted to give me some jewelry, some purses, and some lovely gifts. And I told him he didn't have to do that. And he told me it was his pleasure that he had a special agent that worked for him in the States and that they were shopping for me and to send me a surprise. So I went ahead and reluctantly gave him my address. I mean, I thought since we were in an online relationship and we had already committed to each other, that why not give him my address? A few days later, I received a message from him stating that he had gotten the package sent and he gave me a website and a tracking number. It was to a cargo shipping company. When I went to the website and put in the tracking number, it showed my name, address, and a package that weighed about 25 pounds. I asked him, "What are you sending me that weighs so much?" He said it was a special surprise, but he had sent me some gold as well as some jewelry, purses, and other things that he thought I would love, including some designer perfume. I was flattered, but I was taken back by it. Those are expensive gifts to send someone that you've never met in person. And I asked him about it. I said, "What if you don't like me when you meet me and you've wasted all that money?" He said no, he is absolutely happy to send me these gifts because he knows that he's going to be my husband one day and I'm going to be his wife. I kept tracking the package through the shipping company website. He told me to keep an eye on it because it was coming by cargo. As the days passed, it showed that the package was shipping slowly through each state until it almost reached my state. Then there was a red exclamation mark against the shipping package tracking number saying there was a delay. It had an email address to say to contact the shipper. So I let him know, and he told me that I would have to email them because he already sent the package through his agent and he had nothing to do with it. I went ahead and emailed this cargo company. What's funny is when I tried to put the tracking number into a regular Google search like you can with all packages, it didn't come up with anything. It only worked with the website. But at the time I didn't know any better, and I thought truly this was from a real shipping company. When I put the number in again, it came up as an error and it said to please email. So I sent an email off. I received a reply from a gentleman who said he was Mr. Brown at the shipping company. He said the package had been stopped because of the weight and said that they had to open it for inspection and it contained undeclared gold. I told him I had no idea. I just said that my boyfriend online wanted to send me a package. I didn't know that he didn't declare anything. They told me that there was an anti-terrorism sticker on the package and it had been labeled because if I don't pay the tax on the gold, that I can be put in jail. I told him I had no idea there was gold in there. I pretended like I knew nothing, and in reality, I really didn't know what he was going to send me. I wasn't totally sure. So we went back and forth on this through email, and he told me he would need a copy of my passport to verify the tax on it. I told him I wouldn't send that and that he already had my address. He told me that if I didn't pay it, that he would send it over to the authorities. And when I didn't respond to the email, he finally did. I received an email from a federal anti-terrorism network. Well, I didn't know anything about this, and I know a lot of you are probably laughing at me, but at the time it looked very real. There was an FBI sticker and a bunch of official stickers on this document that was sent. It said that I owed $1,500 in tax on the gold, and that the gold is supposed to be valued at $35,000, and failure to pay the tax would mean I could be put in jail or have a lien put against my home. They told me I had to pay the tax on it, and I didn't know what else to do. They said I had two choices. I could send it via PayPal to a yahoo.com address, or I could wire the money to New York to a lady who works with the Anti-Terrorism Task Force. Well, I didn't know, and I was upset, so I went ahead and told them I would wire the money. I'd rather send it to a person that maybe I could contact. They went ahead and gave me her information. It was somebody in upstate New York. I went ahead and wired the money to her via a bank transfer. Pretty soon I was told that my package was released and it was ready to be sent. I waited several days and the package never arrived. When I went to contact my online boyfriend about this, I found out that his WhatsApp was gone. He wasn't responding, and his profile on Facebook Dating had disappeared. When I tried to contact the shipping company, they didn't respond to me either. I then decided to Google the shipping company's information, and up came Scamming Scammers Action, the Facebook page with information on the scam. When I found out I had been scammed, I was devastated. I felt stupid, and I fell for it. And looking back at all the red flags that I ignored, I blame myself. I've lost $1,500 and a little bit of my pride. We'd like to thank this lady for sharing her story. If you'd like to share your story with a scammer encounter you've had on the internet, you can reach us on Facebook under the page Scamming Scammers Action. Drop us an email, scammingscammers@gmail.com. Please give me some time to narrate your video, and I will get it out as soon as possible. You can remain anonymous when you tell your story, and your story may help others. Thanks for listening.